Folks, there is a hidden history that has been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that is why I am on the trail of a Nephilim, even on vacation, somewhere at a ski resort in an undisclosed state. I'm not going to tell you which one. Might be Utah. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Anyway, folks, we'll get into this more about Hunbat's men and the Mayan elders, and I want to drill into Chichen Itza. I've never been there, and I'll tell you why I've never been there. But first, a word from our sponsor, Virtual Shield. A newly discovered software flaw is possibly the most critical vulnerability of the last decade for anyone with an internet-connected device. This software vulnerability grants hackers, spies, and criminals easy access to customer data off of countless enterprise-level websites. Folks, it's happened to me. Your privacy is in your hands. Virtual Shield helps protect my online data from hackers, data mining companies, mobile carrier, and my internet service provider. This month, I partnered with the creators of Virtual Shield to give my audience 50% off for life and a free 30-day trial of Virtual Shield's VPN to celebrate the new year. Folks, check it out. Please go to virtualshield.com/LA. That's virtualshield.com/LA, or click the link below to start your free trial today. So Hunbat's man was a Mayan elder. He actually wrote several books. They burned in my library. And here's the deal before I get into this. I had thousands of books, and I had one section in particular, one total bookcase with the goodies, all my research stuff. Like Tom Horn lost all his books in the fire, well, his library in the fire, just like I did. And you can't replace that. Copious notes, little flags, little stickers. In the back, I had a little system that I work out, page 64, and I'd write a one-liner. So if I was looking for something, I would just go to the back of the book. Oh, there it is, page 64, Hunbat's men, Mayan elders, bam, whatever I was looking for. Well, all that's gone. But I remember reading the book, and he starts off really good in the sense that it's the typical New Age thing, and it's, you know, your ascension and you can be like God, and it's the same old lie that we've heard in the garden. But I digress. The bottom line is this, and I showed the clip the other day. When they're at the Great Serpent Mound, they are opening up a gateway, and this begs the question: why does Hunbat's men and the Mayan elders, why did they come up to the Great Serpent Mound in it's actually the 2012 was the whole Mayan, supposedly the end of the Mayan calendar. Of course it wasn't, but I digress. But why does he go there? Why the Serpent Mound? And as I talked about on Monday's show, and by the way, we were traveling all yesterday, so that's why there was no show. But we're here till, Friday, and then we'll take the weekend off as we usually do. Why does he go there? And this guy's, origins are in South America, in Mexico. So why does he feel the need to go to the Great Serpent Mound in Ohio? Why is it that when he walks into that one place in Karnak, and no one told him a thing, he turned to the guide Howard Crowhurst and said, "I feel serpent energy"? Well, could it be because of this? And I'll go right to the chase. This is the pyramid at Chichen Itza. You can see the arrows. Whoever constructed this, and it's just not some simple little deal. On the summer solstice, that sun, or the equinoxes, I should say, on the equinoxes, because of the way the pyramid is built and the angles and the steps, all right, it shows the shadow of a serpent which undulates down the face of the pyramid. Are you kidding me? And how do we know this? Because at the base of the pyramid is the serpent head with its mouth open like this. It's always a serpent. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people were ritualistically sacrificed on top of this thing. And I'll show more about the sacrificial table. They would lay you down like this. Two men would hold you here. Two men hold your legs. There's no way you're going to move. They would take obsidian, which is like really, really sharp, cut you open right underneath your rib cage, reach in, take your heart out, and hold that beating heart, because you're still alive, for a few seconds anyway, right in front of the victim's face. They did this over and over again. When the conquistadors came there, they were nauseated because that little building on top that you can see was completely packed with human hearts and skulls. It was like a butcher shop. It was disgusting. Who demands this? Who demands this type of ritualistic blood sacrifice? If we go back to the biblical prophetic narrative, what do we see? Baal of the Canaanites, Molech Of course it is. It's the same old thing, and it travels all over the globe. Why? Who is the prince of the power of the air? You know, our mission statement is to expose the deception of the prince of the power of the air and to herald the return of the King Jesus. That's what we're doing. So people go, all these new agers go to, oh, let's go to Chichen Itza. It's such a cool place. Not so fast. In fact, now you are not allowed up on top of the pyramid unless you've got a special permit and a guide. Why? Because people go up there and they have all sorts of weird stuff happen. We had reports of this woman and her husband years ago that traveled to Chichen Itza. They didn't know what they were getting into. He goes up to the top of the pyramid and he has an experience there which immobilized him for basically a couple of years. His brain was fried. He couldn't shake off the oppression. Folks, I'm not making this stuff up. This isn't, you know, science fiction. Hunbatsman knows exactly what he is tapping into. Serpent energy, and there's Chichen Itza. How did they construct this pyramid? Where did this knowledge come from? There's no pre-existing culture. It just goes poof, and there it is. And, you know, did they figure it out? Well, if we make these angles, we turn the pyramid this way, and we have the steps go down like this, we can make an optical illusion to appear that the serpent is slithering down the face of the pyramid. And they call it the snake of sunlight, Chichen Itza, Mexico, during the equinox. And there it is. And in the background, if John Adam can zoom in on that, you'll see all the people. I mean, every solstice, every equinox, it's a huge deal. People from all over the globe travel here to see this. Most of them have no idea what it is they are about to embrace. And lots of bad stuff can happen there. We were invited to go down there, and I'll tell you that whole story tomorrow, I promise, okay? If someone wants to give me a reminder email, that would be good. Let's move on to our UFO thing, our daily update. This came in from a woman. Most people want to be anonymous, and I understand that. So we really don't read names here. It really doesn't matter. Here's the story. The backstory is this. A friend of mine, I got to get a little closer to the laptop here. A friend of mine sent this to my son. She said, these orbs, these lights in the sky, came together through the clouds and then dispersed into this formation. They stayed there approximately 10 seconds and then went back into the clouds. One came back out of the clouds and then took off really fast. Just thought I would share to see what your opinion is. Thanks for all you do in the information you share. Best regards. Let's walk through it. This is Close Encounters of the first kind, even though it really isn't the first kind. First kind is about 150 yards from you. It's up close. You can see the craft. It's hard to say how big it is, how big the craft are, or how far away it is, but it's certainly further away than 150 yards. And what we see here, and Chase Klotsky has talked about this on our film, that UFOs will cloak themselves, shield themselves in clouds. We've had photos of actually film of a UFO coming into a cloud and then never coming out the other side. They cloak themselves. They do this all the time. Folks, this is the coming Great Deception and the Luciferian Endgame, which is why we released the free film. If you go down into the text box right underneath this, you'll see our little link to Virtual Shield. Please check that out. And scrolling down further, when it says show more, hit that. Scrolling down further, you will see the link to the free UFO film. It is there. I can't encourage you enough to watch the film. Why? Because we are on the cusp of something which will change everything. You think COVID changed something? It did. It shut down the planet in certain areas. This is the entire globe doing this and facing one way. And that way will be when ET really shows up. Not lights in the sky like this photograph is, which is great, and I want to thank that person for sending that. If you have a clip, a video, a story, an abduction experience, please shoot me an email, la@lamarzulli.net, la@lamarzulli.net. Why? Because so many of you out there have had experiences. You need to share them. People need to understand that this phenomenon is real, burgeoning, and not going away. Thanks so much for watching On the Trail of a Nephilim, and of course our daily UFO update. Remember, send me clips. Send me clips, and if I can read your name, say, LA, you can read my name, and I will read your name on the air. And I will thank you profusely for contributing to our daily update here. We signed the contract with Jim Bakker's people. We will be on that show. It'll be basically a 30-minute television show once a week called On the Trail of the Nephilim. I am excited about that. We will start in March, the first week of March. And I think we either follow Derek Gilbert or lead him to Derek Gilbert. So it's a great time slot on Friday. More about that. Please support us. Please tune in. That's all the time I have for. Thanks so much for watching On the Trail of a Nephilim, and of course, our daily UFO update. Remember, we'll see you on the air or in the air. Thanks for watching.
Alan Matthews, I've seen a UFO.
I've seen a UFO.
And I saw a UFO.
A UFO.